Hi, Karen Curry here, author of Understanding Human Design, here with your Human Design Weekly Evolution Transit Report. We've got a lot going on this week, so I'm going to do my best to kind of get through all of this in an expedient manner so that you can get to work. Before we get rolling, though, I just want to make sure that we're clear on one really important piece. And I addressed this a little bit in my transit report last week, but I think it really bears re-emphasizing this week. The transits are what we make of them. We have the potential to take even the gnarliest of transits and make them fabulous with consciousness and with awareness and with preparation. You can have whatever kind of experience you choose to have, and it's really up to you to choose it, which is why these transit reports are really kind of fun and really important, because when you're aware of what's coming up and when you're really clear about the energies that you're working with you to support you in your evolution, you can start to consciously tackle these and bring out the best of these energies, because every single one of these energies that we're going through, even if in the low expression they're kind of difficult, in the high expression they're all about helping us grow and evolve and expand. And when you look at the body graph as an archetype of what it means to be human, you'll see that there is challenge built into who we are, and it's from challenge that we thrive and ultimately grow and change. So everything that we're kind of pushing up against in the next little bit here is really here for a reason. And again, your mindset, where you are with your consciousness, being prepared, not taking anything personally, that's the key part, is really going to help you get the most out of these energies. So let's start first and review a little bit about what happened last week. If you remember last week, the Saturn moved into the gate 1. Okay, the gate 1 is the most yang of hexagrams in the Chinese I Ching and in the human design system, which means it's yang. It's a very masculine, very powerful energy. And when it's in Saturn, it's really here to teach us. And what the gate 1 wants us to do and what it asks of us to do is it asks us to talk to our soul and ask our soul, what is the contribution our soul is seeking to make in this lifetime? You know, it's a really intense energy for those of you who carry it in your chart. Naturally, you probably feel like you have a purpose or a mission in your life. Everybody does, obviously, but when you have the gate 1, there's a pressure there. There's sort of this obligation to fulfill this mission. And when this energy comes into play in Saturn, it certainly can give us, to a certain degree, I would say a little bit of anxiety, or maybe even sometimes even a little bit of panic about, if you don't know what you're doing and you feel like you're not clear about where you're headed in your life, that gate 1 is going to put pressure on you, and it's going to be pushing on your soul and asking your soul, what do you want? Where are you going? What are you here for? If you're feeling the pressure, and most importantly, if you don't feel like you have the clarity about what you're here to do in your life purpose, in your life direction, don't panic. This energy can wake you up in the middle of the night with those kinds of questions. Don't let those questions derail you and launch you into, a cycle of feeling, like you're lost or like you're failing your mission, because you're not. Okay? Everything will be revealed to you when you let go and you let it show up. And that's a tricky thing to do, because with this yang energy, our inclination is to try to push with it, to go out and try to force it to happen. And certainly, as I said, if you have clarity, it's definitely a time for you to start looking at how can I bring this forth into form. But if you're still going, well, why am I here? Don't worry. And might I gently suggest that you kind of put your concerns about your life direction in a question format. And maybe if you're looking for clarity about what you're here for, you release that intention into the universe and say, hey, here I am, universe. Take my hands, take my mouth, take my mind, take my entire being. Place me where you need me to be. Place me where I can be of the greatest service to the greater good. Let me know what I can do to show up for my life and what I can do to show up for the world. And just leave it at that. Don't try to get into your head and figure it all out. Just leave that little prayer hanging in the universe and let the universe answer it for you. It will be revealed to you. And particularly when it's in Saturn, we are all listening to the whisperings of our soul. So pay attention and don't take it personally if you think you're not there yet. It's coming. I promise you the clarity is coming. So just be patient. If you have the clarity, this is the time when Saturn's going to ask you, are you ready to put the pedal to the metal? Are you ready to buckle your seatbelt and really live your truth? Really go out there and make your mission come true. Really live your purpose. And certainly I would say if you feel like your life is not in alignment with that purpose right now, Saturn will help you clean that up. And I might gently suggest that with Saturn playing this card, that you maybe work a little bit proactively with them and kind of beat Saturn to the punch if you can, and really make sure that you're doing cleanup duty in your life, meaning you're looking at everything in your life that perhaps is not an authentic expression of who you are, that perhaps is not in fulfillment with what you know you're here to do. And give yourself permission to really courageously and boldly go out there and be yourself and do what you came here to do. So that's the big thing that we're working with, and that's brand new, and that's going to be going on for a while. That's a pretty big shift that we've just gone through. And of course, given the fact that this is couched in the 53 in Jupiter, we are still in the beginning cycle of a very long new beginning. So don't feel like there's pressure and time's running out, because there's not. There's lots of time. So relax into this, trust that you're really in this great place where your life purpose is about to come into full view for yourself, and you're really entering a time when you can start really genuinely living an authentic, powerful, impactful, important life for yourself and also for the world. Okay, that's the first big change. The second big change actually came in Mercury yesterday. Mercury switches from the 44 to the 28, the gate of struggle. So we are now in this place where sometimes communication might feel a little bit challenged. When the 28, which is struggle, not suffering, by the way, it's the 28 asks of us to push against obstacles to help us determine what's really important and really valuable in life. It's from the 28, and by the way, we've got more of this stuff coming up in other planets too. It's from the pushing up against obstacles in the 28, the struggle that we engage in sometimes as part of our life and growth process. It's in the struggle of this that we discover what's really important. So in terms of your communications, it's time for you to really start looking at, what do I really need to talk about? How do I really need to change the way in which I'm engaging with the people I care about and the people I love? How can I shift the way that I communicate, shift the way that I'm showing up for my life in such a way that I'm really demonstrating with my words, with my communication, what's really meaningful to me? So a really powerful time to distill down to the heart of your relationships and really look at how you can bring that out in your communication and in the expression of who you are in your relationships. Our next change comes tomorrow in Pluto on Tuesday, where we see an additional surge in this energy that goes hand in hand with this shift in Mercury. Pluto moves from the 58, the gate of joy. I told you guys about this last week to get ready. Pluto shifts from the gate of joy, where it's been sitting very nicely for a little bit. It's now moving from the 58 into the 38, which is the electromagnetic of the 28, which means the entire channel of struggle is defined for us for a little bit. Now, what that means is that we are really discovering what's worth fighting for. We are really learning where we want to put our energy and what drives us. So where you might feel like things are kind of Sisyphusian to a certain degree, you might feel like you're having to push rocks up a hill. Don't worry about that being, sometimes people think when that happens, oh, I'm screwed up or there's something wrong in my consciousness. I would say none of the above. It's simply that we're really in the cycle of clarifying. Remember, I said that the word for this week is clarity. So everything that we're going through this week is to give us clarity. Everything that we're pushing against this week is about giving us clarity. So this week when we're playing with the 28 in Mercury and the 38 in Pluto, which the 38 in Pluto is going to sit there for a while, we're really discovering what's worth fighting for. This is really good news, even though these gates have terrible names. The really good news is that this is going to give you that oomph, that chutzpah, that drive when you get up in the morning and you're going, oh, I really don't want to get up. That 38 is going to say, yeah, you do. You got stuff to fight for. You've got stuff to build. You've got a contribution to make to the world. Get up. And it's that I'm not going to put this by the wayside. I'm going to deal with this and I'm going to make it happen. It's that juice that's going to really fire you up and give you that extra oomph to go out there and really start your new beginning and really give you the courage and the energy for fighting, for creating what's right for you, no matter what. So it sounds like it's gnarly energy, but if you approach it with this attitude of, okay, this is what's driving me. This is helping me discover where I'm going, and it's helping me discover how to find my juice so that I can keep going. You're going to love this energy, okay? Just be mindful though, and this is the key here. To be mindful of not taking anything personally. If somebody comes out of the blue swinging at you, or you witness, and hopefully it's just you witnessing this, you witness people engaging in drama, don't take it personally. You're going to see a lot of that in this energy with people who are not clear on what's going on. It's not about you. For you, your job is to discover what's worth fighting for. That's it. Basta fini. Don't worry about anything else. All right. The next big change that we have coming up happens on Wednesday. Our sun moves from the 44 into the gate 1. just right hand in hand with Saturn, right? And the Earth moves from the 24 to the gate 2. So what we have in the beginning of this cycle with Saturn, we also have kind of this juxtaposition with the Sun also doing the same thing, and the Earth bringing us the energy to help us and sustain us as we go out and look for what's my contribution. What am I here to do? What is the whispering of my soul? So again, a lot of energy this week that's going to really engage you in a conversation of, am I expressing myself fully? Am I living my truth? Am I making my contribution? Am I having the impact I want to have? Am I really doing what I came here to do? And I'm hoping for you that you will discover that the answer is yes, yes, yes. And if not, I'm hoping that you will have the courage and the joy and recognition that you totally have the support right now to go out there and make it happen. You know, in whatever way is correct for you energetically. Obviously, if you're not a go out and make it happen kind of a person, sit and wait and let it show up, because it will. This is a really, really powerful time and a really beautiful time to honor your soul and to give yourself permission to really step out of what's comfortable into what's really true to who you are and true to your, you know, magnificent, beautiful nature. All right, a couple other little chains. The gate Venus moves from the 11 to the 10. Never one of my favorite gates. The gate 10 is a very important gate. It's the gate of the love of the self. It has the energy of empowerment. When it's in Venus, we're looking at the value of being self-empowered. It also will influence our relationships a little bit. So we're also looking at, are our relationships lifting us up? Are we serving in an empowering way in our relationships? Is our communication a reflection of what we want to say? Are the words we're using lifting other people up? And are other people using their words to lift us up? That's the important dialogue we need to be having with ourselves this week. Be very careful though, because when the 10 rolls around, the 10 has a tendency to point its finger. So if you find that you're pointing your finger, you know, be mindful of that and go back and check yourself in the mirror and make sure that what you might be pointing outward to someone else might be actually something you need to be pointing in at yourself. You know, if you don't like what's going on, if you feel like there's a lot of blaming happening or victim energy happening, take a step back and make sure that you're not playing in that consciousness. Get your mindset clear. And if you need to, step out of it. With the 10 in Venus and the 17 in Uranus, there are going to be a lot of people still having a lot of opinions about how you should be living your life, what you should be doing with your life, particularly as you start to, you know, get out there and break out of your comfort zone a little bit. Again, don't listen, all right? Step back, smile and nod, and keep doing what you came here to do. You're too important to give up the fight for what's correct for you, for what's right for you. Do what's right for you. Honor your soul and follow the calling of your soul. You owe it to yourself, and the world needs you to do the best that you can do to live out the full expression of you as you truly are. Last but not least, we still have the 44 and the 24 in the nodes. Again, beautiful message here that says you are here to release the past. The past is not going to repeat itself again. Go forward, be brave, trust with the 55 in Neptune especially, but this is always true, just exceptionally true right now. You are fully supported. The universe is asking you, be who you are. Express the truth of who you are. Get real. Get really real with yourself. Let it out, flash it out, show it out, and know that when you do that, everything you need is going to show up to support you on your creation, especially this week. So it might feel a little bumpy. Again, you know, rule of thumb, don't take anything personally. You know, work on where are you focused. Make sure you're looking at focusing your energy in a direction that's in alignment with the truth of your soul. Be courageous. And hey, make sure you're taking care of yourself. This is a lot of pretty intense energy. You know, give yourself the gift of writing or journaling and sitting back or, you know, taking a hot bath or whatever you need to do to keep yourself recharged. And most importantly, remember that you're truly valuable and your contribution to the world, however big or small you might perceive it to be, is extremely important. Oh, I got one more thing. The gate 64, which is not in my notes. Anyway, the gate 64 is also transiting in, which basically just means this. Stay open to all the possibilities of what's to be and what's to come. We are really hooking into super consciousness here. Your mindset is going to help you get clarity. Don't let confusion overwhelm you. Sometimes the gate 64 can bring confusion. Don't let confusion overwhelm you. If you feel confused, if you feel like, yeah, I don't really know what my direction is, sit back, wait, trust. After confusion, there's always an epiphany. Let the epiphany show up. There's no amount of mental squeezing of the brain that's going to make the answer show up. So again, nurture yourself. Don't take anything personally. Be brave. Go do it. Have a great week.